The Me Bank CEO resigns over the bailing in fiasco. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I've got my morning stein of coffee that's fueling me through these videos, and I thought we'd have a look at this article from the ABC. It's discussing, I'll jump there eventually, it's discussing the resignation of Me Bank Chief Executive Jamie McPhee, following the mortgage redraw backlash, or as I call it, the home loan bail-ins that the banks were doing. Now, I discussed this a couple of months ago. Now, what happened was the banks were pretty much using people's overpayments. They were reducing their loans. So people had paid extra on their mortgages, and the banks just readjusted it. Here's the thing, guys. If you pay extra on your mortgage, it's not like, that's money for you to take again. That's an overpayment. And the bank wants you to borrow it again, to borrow that money again, to undo all the work that you've done. So, they adjusted the values on some of these loans, and some people didn't have as much of a redraw as they had in the past. So, frankly, the most concerning takeaway of this entire fiasco was the lack of understanding people had about their own mortgages. It just goes to show the lack of financial literacy we have in this country. And that's not even mentioning the risk of real bail-in, or the fact there's all monies clause with the bank, where they can just combine everything together. That's why some professionals I've talked to in the finance industry have suggested separating your business banking from your personal banking, keeping it all over in different banks, reducing your risk. Makes sense. It's a pain. It really is a pain moving it all around. And there are people who just focus on cash. So let's have a look at this article, everyone. The Me Bank Chief Executive Jamie McPhee resigns following the mortgage redraw backlash. Because there are a lot of people who were worried about this. A lot of people who didn't like it. The chief executive of Me Bank has resigned after more than a decade running the industry super fund-owned bank. Jamie McPhee will leave the bank at the end of the month, with the current Chief Financial Officer, Adam Crane, to take the reins before a permanent appointment is made. Me Bank Chairman James Evans said Mr. McPhee had made a significant contribution to the bank, overseeing the increase in its customer numbers from 234,000 to 542,000. After 10.5 years of CEO, I believe now is the best time to hand over the reins to give ownership of the bank's post-pandemic strategy development and long-term execution to a new CEO, he said in a statement. In deciding to call time, I know the bank is in a strong position financially and is well placed for the future, but that the industry challenges ahead and resulting need for change will require a long-term commitment. So it looks like he was already planning to leave or to head out. Maybe he wants to retire. Maybe he wants to, he's over it, and in some ways I can't blame him. Mr. Crane will be acting CEO while the board begins the process of appointing a new chief executive. Me Bank faced a major customer backlash in May when it lowered redraw limits on some older home loans without informing borrowers first. And here's the thing, the banks, they're not our friends, guys. They can do what they want. They can change the terms and conditions on your mortgage without informing you. Does that seem like a contract where two parties are in agreement to it? One party can't change the conditions without getting approval from the other party. A redraw facility allows customers to make extra mortgage repayments above the required minimum repayment, which can be drawn down if needed. And there's the thing, it's just borrowing money again on your house. It's like a line of credit. They want you to take that money out again. Every time I talk to my bank, because I'll ring them up every now and then, I'm with CommBank, and I'll ring them up, put the earphone in, just sit there for 40 minutes to try and get a discount on my interest rates. People should do it. It doesn't hurt. You can only ask. I mean, come on. Feels good. And I mean, it's a tiny amount. I think I got 0.02% on the last time. But, if you're can draft a work, or even when you're doing the dishes, just wait on hold for that hour. You get it. You know, people work a lot harder for a lot less. But every time I talk to them, ring them up, anything, they'll say, oh, you know, you can use your redraw to do a house extension, to do this, to do that. I'm going, yeah, no, thank you, yeah. They're trying to get you to do it, you know. Me Bank removed money some customers had accumulated in their redraw facilities and took it off their outstanding mortgage balances, leaving those customers without access to the funds. In a statement, the bank said the funds transferred only applied to a portion of legacy loans written more than 5 years ago. Mr. McPhee apologized at the time, and the bank offered to reverse the changes for customers. He later told a parliamentary committee that the bank had got the communication wrong. Well, yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. I mean, I've had my bank change my repayments, put them up and adjust them for the long-term time frame. I like the psychological benefit of having my repayment at the lowest level possible and just chucking extra on it. Even little amounts. You know, if you've got a mortgage, you just the advice I give people is to cut the takeout coffees, or to cut one discretionary expense that you spend on a daily basis, or maybe a few times a week. Some perk that you buy that you need to have that you think's a luxury. Cut that out and put that extra money off your mortgage, and then just see the difference in a month's time or a week's time even. You know, $5 coffee here, a $10 meal here, and then, oh well, look at that, I put another $100 off it. Oh, that isn't that small a portion of a weekly repayment, of a monthly repayment. Then you start to, it's a good way to appreciate how much you can really burn away, sadly. Mr. McPhee said it had informed the banking regulator APRA before implementing the changes, and it was in continued discussions with the regulator. The Me Bank redraw backlash came in the middle of the initial pandemic restrictions, when many banks began offering to pause home loan repayments. Remember when that was just new, everyone? When that was just new, offering home loan repayments. It was a brand new thing. And now they're extending it out to 10 months, to March? You know, who would have thought in May, that you'd get your mortgage holiday until March, everyone? But that's the world we're living in now. The Commonwealth Bank also faced scrutiny for automatically decreasing around 750,000 home loan repayments to the minimum amount unless they opted out. Now, there's the thing. People were angry about that. But you should have control over it. It doesn't take much effort to go in there and adjust it again, and to adjust it. But I can see there'd be some people, potentially elderly customers, that have got it all set up and just are annoyed that the bank did this without asking them permission. I get I'm old school. I still want the paper statements from the bank. They keep trying to push me to online statements, all this stuff. They've done another one saying, oh, we couldn't get in contact with you, which is utter BS. They're just lying. I want my paper. I want it old-fashioned. So Jamie McPhee will leave Me Bank at the end of July. Mr. McPhee said now is the best time to hand over to a new chief executive to lead the bank's post-COVID strategy. The Me Bank faced backlash in May over changes to mortgage redraw facilities without informing customers first. So it sounds like it's just a terrible marketing strategy. A terrible communication blunder. A terrible blunder. But, people were caught off guard. People had put the money in there expecting that they could get access to it. They didn't understand what they were doing. They didn't understand the relationship they had with the bank and the power that the bank had. Have a look at the original video, guys, and let me know what you think. Do you think people should be saving in these facilities? Or is it just another sign that our financial literacy is just non-existent? People don't really know what they're doing. And how would we address that? What education can be done? How can people be taught? Or should people just be happy that they're actually ahead on their mortgage and they're getting it paid off, getting out of that debt slavery? Isn't that the cool thing now? To not have a mortgage? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or KuCoin. You can buy our merch from Heiser Says, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you all in the next episode.